Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rewind Review where I take a look at older films and review them. In this video, we're going to be talking about the 2010 animated film Toy Story 3. This was supposed to be the end cap of a Toy Story trilogy, but now there's a fourth one. What a note to go out on, or at least, well, it was supposed to be the note to go out on. But as an end mark for the Toy Story trilogy, this is the best way that you could go out. There's a passing of the torch, there's a bittersweetness to it, and you see a total growth in everybody's character. And that's what really makes these Toy Story films just so great. There's just an ever-changing growth of these characters. Now, I will say, though, that this film is not perfect. I enjoyed it. I still very much enjoy it. But out of the three Toy Story films currently available for, home media, Toy Story 3 is the one that I've watched the least amount of times, and that's not because it's a bad movie, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's probably nothing wrong with the film, it's probably just personal preference. I've always just preferred Toy Story 1 and 2 over Toy Story 3. I've had a friend tell me that Toy Story 3 is basically a retreading of Toy Story 2, and I can kind of see that, but this does feel like a natural progression. The pacing in this film is fine for the most part. The beginning feels a little bit slow and a little bit relaxed, and once you get to the bit where they plan their breakout sequence, that's when the film really picks up, and it's just boom, 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 like right to the finish line, and it's awesome. That last half is fantastic, but the beginning, it's a little slower, and that's, like I said, not a bad thing. It's just it takes its time to really let this sink in, and I guess that is intentional. But compared to the last half of the movie, it's a little slow. The voice cast here is fantastic. Jim Varney had passed away in 2000, so he's no longer voicing the role of Slinky Dog. Here we have a replacement, and the replacement does a pretty good job of capturing the essence of Slinky Dog. We get some more big names in this movie. We get Michael Keaton as Ken. We get Ned Beatty as Lotso. Whoopi Goldberg plays Purple Octopus character. There's some other big names in there. I can't remember them right now. But yeah, the voice cast has just always been top-notch for the Toy Story films. I mentioned in my Toy Story review that the Toy Story films have been around as long as I've been around. I'm a little bit older than the Toy Story movies, but when this movie came out, I was a sophomore in high school. And this really struck a chord with me because I was preparing to enter the real world. And it was kind of surreal to watch Andy grow up alongside me, because I had followed the Toy Story movies since I was, like I said, a little kid. And then I'm in sophomore year of high school, and then all of a sudden Andy's going off to college, and he gives away his toys, and it's just, wow, that really hit. That really resonated with me. And even now as an adult, it's still really heartbreaking. The bit where Andy has to give away his toys to Bonnie is a very sweet, very sincere conclusion to Andy's story. The scene in the junkyard is also incredibly powerful. The bit where they just all hold each other's hands and they prepare to be incinerated it's heartbreaking. These movies know how to break your heart. They make you feel for these characters, these pieces of cloth and plastic and vinyl, and they make you care about them. And that's the magic of Pixar. I will say, though, that there is a little bit of a tonal difference between this movie and Toy Stories 1 and 2 in terms of the writing. A couple of the jokes here are kind of lowbrow, and they don't entirely fit in with the overall quality of the joke writing from the previous two films. It didn't completely detract from the film for me, it's just I noticed that there was a little bit of a tonal inconsistency in terms of the humor. There is something here that I think that Toy Story 3 does a little bit better than Toy Story 2, and it actually gives a well-defined villain. Lotso is a bear who was forgotten, who got lost, and he completely snaps. So much so that he believes that what he's doing is the right thing for toys. He doesn't want another toy to feel the pain of being replaced by their owner, so in his own twisted way, he feels like he's protecting them. Granted, he does run a really corrupt system at Sunnyside, and we get more depth to his backstory. Whereas with the Prospector, we just find out that he just was a shelf warmer. And that's fine too. But here we actually feel a little bit of sympathy for him. You see that he's a broken toy. Not physically, well, kind of. He's got a little bit of a limp. But emotionally, he's just broken. To the point where it's almost as if he's lost his mind. There's a bit where he just comes off as completely insane. Though the one thing that really kind of bothers me, Lotso got off way too light. They should have let that bear burn. because you actually really end up hating him by the end of the film. The animation in this film is top notch. It's incredible to see the evolution from 1995 to 2010 and just see the strides and the ability to capture all this realism in a computer. The character animation is pretty fantastic. I adore Spanish Buzz. He gets a lot of laughs and he's very well animated. He's just really fun. The one thing that I really dig is that Woody completely grows as a character in this one. Now, I'm sure I'm going to see more development in his character in Toy Story 4. But in this movie, we finally see Woody realize his place as a toy. He's always known that his place is to be there for Andy whenever he needs him, but he's always been hopelessly devoted to Andy, and here he learns to understand and even appreciate the cycle of a toy, of being passed down from one kid to another. And the thing that really drives that home is the moment where he gets to play with Bonnie and her toys. And something kind of clicks with him. He's happy. He's being played with. He's being loved by a kid who has no real history or past with him. He's just being loved. That's what Woody wants the most, is just to be loved and to make somebody happy. At the end of the day, Toy Story 3, it's really good. There are some things that kind of hold it back, but the emotional bits where it gets super into your feelings, those grab into you and they don't let go, and it reminds you why you love the Toy Story characters so much. As a film itself, it's pretty good, but as a conclusion to what was the Toy Story trilogy, it's fantastic. It's not better than Toy Story 2. I still love Toy Story 1 probably the most. That's going to be my one that I go to the most. But Toy Story 3 is that perfect middle ground where it takes everything that you loved about the first Toy Story and everything you loved about the second Toy Story and evolves it into something that really sticks with you. I'm going to go ahead and give Toy Story 3 an A. So that's all I've got for the Toy Story trilogy. I'm going to be doing another video about Toy Story 4 that's probably going to be a spoiler review, just a separate one. I'm going to do a non-spoiler review in my Cinema Corral episode, but I would like to talk about Toy Story 4 on its own. So until next time, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications whenever I upload a new video. I really appreciate all the viewership that I've been getting, and I will see you next time.